All right, everyone. Well, welcome. Happy Wednesday. It's Wellness Wednesday for those of you who are familiar with what we do in our nation. We use Wellness Wednesday as a way to reach out to our community and our contacts, our preferred clients. And so I am so excited. My name is Terry Fisher. I'm a National Vice President, and I am here to bring to you Miss ENVP Shay Hershag. And I was thinking about this today when I was talking to Shay earlier, and I was thinking about Nikki Smith last week. And you guys, if it weren't for Arbonne, I wouldn't have these friendships. I wouldn't know many of you or most of you on this call if it weren't for this business. So there's so much more that goes behind the business of Arbonne than just a paycheck and working your business and building, working the recipe. It's the friendships and the relationships and the lasting just connections that you have because of this business. So I'm super excited to introduce Shay. She and I have been friends for quite a long time, actually, 3 or 4 years, Shay. And she is really relatively a brand new ENVP. She will be recognized at GTC for that. But there's a little bit I want to share with you about Shay before she gets started. So Shay was an occupational therapist prior to Arbonne. She loved that so much because she loved being with kids. But I think she quickly learned that she was taking care of other people's kids, not her own, after she had her son. She lives in Southern California, really close to where I live, and she's got a brand new sweet baby. She's not brand new, but she's still an infant, and she's got an amazing, cute son. I think that we should partner her and Tatum, he and Tatum together. She's an ACE Award winner 2 times, and she's been to AIT 4 times. So, Shay, I'm going to hand it over to you. I know that you're going to just pour into all of our teams and to us. And I'm just grateful for you. I'm thankful, and I cannot wait to sit at your feet and learn.
Aw, you're so sweet. Hi, you guys. Can you hear me okay? All right. So thank you so much for having me on, Terry. I love how you totally know my story, like inside and out. I didn't even have to text that to you. It's so neat. I love the relationships that we have in Arbonne. And I tell you, it's like when I first started Arbonne, I used to, I still respect Terry so much, but she was definitely one of the women that I looked up to when I was growing my business as a mentor. And so it's just really neat to be asked to speak on her call, because I do have so much respect for her and for all of your leaders. And so they've made such an impact on my journey. So I'm just really appreciative. So like Terry said, you guys, before I started Arbonne, I was an occupational therapist. And, it's really interesting because I think for so many of us from the outside, right, everything looked okay. In my life, I had this really awesome career that I was really proud of, and I did love what I did. I worked with kids with special needs, and I always had a passion for that. I always wanted to work with kids with special needs. That was my thing. And because I always believed in, the human potential and just how when we really can pour into people and support them in their learning, that they can do amazing, incredible things, right? Sounds a lot like Arbonne, huh? And I didn't even know there was something like Arbonne, you guys. I didn't know that there was something where I could work part-time and potentially replace my income. And so if you would have asked me, like, of course you want to be a stay-at-home mom, right? I would have been like, no, actually I don't, because I didn't know that there was something where I could still, I never pictured myself as not being someone who brought something to the table. I was a helper. I was a healer. I didn't want to walk away from that. But what I was able to find was that I could have both things in Arbonne. I could be a stay-at-home mom, not really, right? But if you saw my office right now, I have my play mat right here for my little 8-month-old, and all her toys are right here. And so I could be a present parent, but still have something for myself, still be a professional, still be able to give back, still be able to make a difference in people's lives. And I never wanted to, I wanted to be an independent woman. I grew up as that being part of my identity. So no, I never wanted to walk away from being an OT, but I never knew there was something different out there that could allow me to have the best of both worlds. And so from the outside, you guys, a normal person probably wouldn't have asked me to take a look at Arbonne, right? Because they wouldn't have thought that I needed this. But what was happening was on the inside, what my husband and I were doing was we were really in a place where we were shrinking our dreams. We had gotten married and we had all these like amazing, when you're dating and you're engaged, you have all these big visions for your life, right? You're like, oh, we're going to travel the world. And it's okay that my family lives in Chicago and I live here because we'll just fly home to see them whenever we want, not a big deal. Well, yeah, right. Then life hits, right? And then you have a career and your husband has a career that he just can't, take time off because he only works when he gets paid. And then Monday rolls around too soon and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to call out on Monday because I want to stay in Chicago 3 days longer and I'm going to get in trouble at work and all of those things. And then your family starts growing and you realize that you have to buy 4 plane tickets for you to fly home to Chicago, right? And then on top of that, you have to take off work. Your husband doesn't take off work, has to take off work, and he doesn't get paid when he doesn't work because he's an independent contractor, and real life kind of hits, right? And so no one knew that we really had come to a place where we had just settled. We literally were like coming home from work every day. Like it was just a rat race, it was who's going to take the baby to who's going to pick up the baby, who's going to pick up the groceries, who's going to pick up the dry cleaning, right? Like all of those things. And by the time like our whole day was just said and done, we literally would find ourselves on the couch every day, just like staring at each other like, is this really it? And I remember having this conversation with him, and we totally just agreed to settle. We're like, it's okay. It's okay. Like, listen, you have a great job. I have a great job. We just bought a house. We have a beautiful baby at the time. Like when I found Arbonne, my son was about 2.5. And we both had just like consciously made the decision to take our dreams and put them on a shelf and settle and say like, this was okay. This was enough. Right. And thank God, Arbonne walked into my life in the form of a wellness workshop a few weeks after that. And I walked in and some of you guys know Executive National Vice President Erin Farrell. At the time, she was actually a regional vice president, which is kind of crazy to think of. And, it wasn't the products that hit me that night. I actually walked out of that event and I like to call it, we like to call it in our nation sometimes a vision party, when you have a party where no one purchases one thing, because now I look back on it and I'm like, how awful was I? I walked out without even making one purchase, but I knew I was going to join the business. I knew it because when I walked into that event, she said that night, she goes, we only have 18 summers with our kids. And I knew that night, you guys, that if I didn't do something different, that nothing was going to change, that I was going to lose the 16 summers that I had left with Ben. And so even though I didn't walk out with a product, I walked out with a vision. I walked out with a solution. I walked out knowing that, oh my goodness, if this cute, kind of funny, kind of down to earth girl could do this, and she was willing to teach and train me how to do it, that maybe I could do it too. And for the first time, I woke up the next day, like excited to hop out of bed with a spring in my step, because you guys, I had hope, right? I had hope that there was a way that I could potentially replace my full-time income from being an occupational therapist, working part-time from where I wanted, when I wanted. And so that's what we do, you guys, in Arbonne, is we give people hope. And, we don't make those decisions for people. And I want to say that, for those of you guys who don't know me, but you kind of may know my like Arbonne journey, it was very similar to my journey of like how I was at home, like from the outside, everything looked great, right? Like I had this beautiful family, I had this beautiful job, but on the inside, it wasn't easy. Well, I feel like my journey in Arbonne was very similar to that. So on the outside, those of you guys who don't know me well, you kind of see my trajectory through the company, right? Because don't we so many times look at like our amount of time, like how much time did it take for this person to go district? How much time did it take for this person to go area? This person go, like that kind of timeline. And if you look at my trajectory on the outside, it looked pretty good. So I went district in, I think, 2 months. I went area in 6 months. And so about a year into my Arbonne business, I was able to go part-time because I replaced half my income. I went regional vice president in 18 months. And then pretty quickly after that, I promoted my first region. And I went nation in just under 4 years. And so, you know, that is awesome on paper, right? That's within the timelines, the average timelines. And, you know, on paper, everything was good. But inside my Arbonne journey, just like every single one of you guys, I experienced setbacks. I had obstacles, and some of them were so big. You guys, life happened to me so big during my Arbonne journey that I honestly contemplated quitting. And there were months, there was weeks and months, and maybe even a whole year in there where I literally was going to walk away from this business. And so, you know, thank God I had the mentors and that I didn't. And so I just want to tell you guys that you will grow into the person that you were meant to be in the obstacles, in the adversity, right? Those are the times that God is working within that experience to shape you into who you are meant to be. And so don't give up, don't quit, make a decision to take quitting off the table. Okay. So when I finally made that decision, and I'm going to tell you guys kind of some of the tools that I used when I made that decision, that was when I promoted. I was kind of stuck at region. And you guys, I want to tell you that you may have heard this or you may not have, but every single person gets stuck, if you will, at a different level. So you may be on this call going, oh gosh, well, she promoted to district so fast or to RVP so fast, and I've been in area for 6 years or whatever. We all get stuck at different levels. For some of us, it's region to nation. For others of us, it's district to area. But you just have to commit to yourself and make a decision not to quit, okay? Because your decision not to quit, regardless of your situation, you guys, we get to choose, okay? It's one of the only places in our life that we actually get to choose regardless of the situation that we're in. It's our choice to not quit, to not give up, and to give it everything we've got. And that choice, you guys, will determine your destiny. Your destiny will be shaped by your decision whether or not to stay in this game, stay in this business when things get tough, when you have adversities, when you have setbacks, because I promise you will. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but life will happen to you. People will quit. People will leave your business that you didn't think were going to leave your business. People will do things that you didn't expect them to do. That is the one thing that I can guarantee you. But you are the common denominator. So if you don't give up and you don't quit, I promise you will be at the top of this company. And so I just want to share with you guys, because I was in a pretty difficult situation where I felt, kind of like estranged, I guess, from any support. I also had some pretty serious life situations happen to me. I lost 2 pregnancies. One of them I lost at almost 18 weeks. But you guys, in that time, I'll share with you guys something because I just feel led to. What I learned was that this business was such a gift. And I know that we talk about that all the time. But when I lost my second pregnancy at almost 18 weeks, I remember there was a few months where I was already a regional vice president, but I stopped working my business. I was down for the count. I was on the couch, you know, drinking wine, doing whatever I had to do to get my mind off of the huge loss that I had in my life, you know? And I will tell you guys that when you're down like that, and you get a paycheck and you haven't worked your business. I remember where I was sitting with my sister in the parking lot, and I was visiting my sister in North Carolina, and I got my direct deposit in, and it was the same amount of money that I was making at my job as an occupational therapist. And you guys, I didn't lift a finger for my business for 3 months. 3 months. When people called, my team knew what was going on. I couldn't even pick up the phone. Okay. So that's what this business can do for you, for your family, is when you don't need it. And I remember saying to my sister, I showed her my paycheck and I said, Janie, I haven't worked in 3 months. And you know what it gave me the ability to do? It gave me the ability to not go into work to go back to work when I was ready to. Because I was saying to my sister, if I was working as an OT when this happened, I would have had to go back in. And I would have had to face the people and the questions of asking me what happened to the baby, right? Because my belly was like big and my belly was gone after I lost the baby. And Arbonne gave me that gift of not having to go to work sooner than I wanted to and making that same paycheck. So you guys, we always talk about prepare for impact. So I know we just have a few minutes left. So I'm going to tell you guys, when I finally made that decision after all of that happened, and I just decided, I realized that if it was to be, it was up to me. And that not only that, but it wasn't about me. It was about my team, right? And I knew, I finally made a switch that if I, that I knew, I realized, I had the realization, and I hope that all of you guys have the realization too tonight, that if I wanted my team to grow, I had to grow first. Not only did I have to grow first, but I had to go first. So why were people not promoting to region and nation in my organization? Because I was holding that spot. I had to go first. Right? So it was more about, like, it's the same thing with you guys at every single level. You have to go first. And so that was so powerful to me. And I loved and cared about my team so much. I realized that I was being the lid on them. And I didn't want to do that to my team. So make it about others, you guys. Make it about your team. And so what I knew was, I knew that if I just got back to work and worked just as hard as I did going district, right? You guys, anyone who's gone district, you can go nation. That's all you have to do, is you have to do it again and again and again and again. So I knew that if I could, I knew what I could control, which was my own personal activity. And I knew in order to get into the massive personal activity that I knew I needed to be into to go nation, and I had to go nation so that my areas would go region, and so my regions would go nation, right? I had to do that, but I had to get into massive personal activity. And I knew that in order to do that, I had to mind my mind, because I was in a real funk, you guys, like a real funk. And what I found is that so many times we learn about mindset, right? We learn that we have all these tools. We have personal development. We have books. We have SoundCloud. We have Audible. I mean, our cars are, personal development university on wheels. We have Ion Arbonnes. We have, how many different tools do we have, you guys, to mind our minds? There's so many. But this was the trick that I figured out for myself, that really helped me to make that transition in minding my mind. Was one of the things I didn't realize is that there's a step before minding your mind, right? It's that you have to recognize that you're having that thought in the first place. And I didn't realize, you guys, how many times I was driving in my car, or, laying in my bed, or, wherever, doing what I was doing, cooking dinner, and I was having these negative thoughts play out in my mind, right? Like my negative head trash looked like, maybe you're not supposed to be a national vice president. Maybe you're just supposed to be an executive regional vice president. Maybe you're not good enough. And then replaying some of the different things that had happened in my life and in my business. Things like, wow, because you don't have, the support or the relationship you want to have with your upline, you can't do it. You need an upline. People don't understand, right? So these were some of the kind of like head trash thoughts that would play in my head all day long. And I knew how to read. I was reading. I knew how to do all those things. But what I didn't know what to do was to be what I like to call like a mental ninja. And so when I realized that what I had to do was, the second one of those thoughts popped into my head, literally like the second they came in, and it was identifying it and quickly using one of my personal development tools, right? So like, it wasn't that I just had to read at night. It was that I had to use my personal development tool almost like a warrior. You know what I'm saying? Like, use it like a ninja. Like, literally the second you have that thought come into your mind, you identify it. And the quicker you can identify it, then you immediately go, what tool can I use right now? And sometimes it literally looks like SoundCloud quick, or just putting a song on that you like and switching your mindset up to a positive thought. EOA, quick, grab my EOA, you know. I literally have a whole thing in my notes section of inspirational videos that I like to use that would switch my mind. So I love Les Brown, because who can't listen to Les Brown and not be like, have your mindset just totally switched around, right? I have these motivational videos that I have saved like in my notes. So literally the second I would start hearing something that I knew was an untruth that wasn't going to serve me in getting into the massive personal activity that I needed to get into, I would instantly go to my note section and boom, play it and switch my mindset, or boom, go to a SoundCloud and switch my mindset, right? And then that enables you, that enabled me to get into the personal activity that every single one of us knows we need to do to grow our businesses, right? I mean, we all know what to do. We all have a system for success. We all have a recipe for success. We all, if you've gone district, you know what to do to go nation. It's literally the same thing, repeat, 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 repeat. But the trick is that you have to mind your mind and get in the mindset to basically choose loving yourself over fear, right? Choose love over fear. Choose to cut off, you know, any other possibility, and to love not only yourself, but your family, everyone around you enough, your team enough to get into the personal activity that you deserve, your team deserves, your family deserves, because your family and you deserve for every single one of your dreams to come true. Every single one. I don't know if you guys do 21 Reasons Why, but we do. And, you know, I think so many times we think like, oh, like, okay, well, maybe I deserve to get this one thing. You know, maybe I deserve to make an extra $300 a month or pay for my daughter's dance classes. But I'm not quite sure if I really deserve to be able to pay off my home, or make $20,000 a month, or make $200,000 a month, or travel to, you know, have enough money to remodel my whole house and have a swimming pool in my backyard. And then after that, you know, be able to go change the world and help people. Yes, you do. You deserve that. You don't deserve just one or two of your whys. You deserve every single one, because you're a child of God, and God wants you to step into your purpose, right? God wouldn't have put a dream on your heart that he did not already equip and prepare you for. And so you just have to do the work. He didn't say it would be easy, right? But he said that he would equip you and that it would be worth it, okay? And so regardless of our situation, it's our choice. And we get to control the thoughts that come into our mind. We get to control, you know, control all of that. And then basically it's our choice, but part of that is identifying it so that we can stop it in its tracks, switch our mindset to get into the personal, to use our personal development tools to get into the activity that we know that we need to be in to promote to the next level and make every single one of our dreams come true. And so I hope that I'm going to just end it, because I know we're kind of going over and I feel like I'm repeating myself and I'm getting, you know, to the end. And so I hope that that this training just blesses all of you guys, and that, you know, you take this and run and go to the next level of your business, because really you're so worth it. You're so deserving, and you're really, truly already equipped.
Hey, Shay, that was awesome. And, you know, there's a couple things I just want to reiterate. And, oh, hold on a second, you guys. Okay, so they were quiet as church mice until I started talking and unmuted my phone. What's up with that? The very first thing I want to say is I love that you said use self-development as a warrior. I thought that was so important, because I think a lot of times people leave the self-development piece out, right? They leave it out because they think it's not important. And it's actually one of the most important things that we do is self-development. It is growing our mind, growing our belief, growing our leadership lid. Because you guys, when we get stuck, it means we need to personally grow somewhere. We need to reach and figure out where it is we need to grow or we need to adjust. The other thing I loved what you shared was take the option to quit off the table. I think there are a lot of people that keep that option in the back of their mind. It's like they talk about burning the boat. Burn the boat. There's no boat. You're on. You can't step off the dock or the back of the house into the water because you don't have a boat. You're stuck. Like you're in this and you're all in. The other thing that I love that you shared was when you grow your mind, you grow. When you grow your mind, you grow, which is that leadership lid. And then the last thing that really impacted me was we deserve, each and every one of you on this call deserve to have those hopes, that hope in your heart of what's possible for you and your family and your future to come true. And I also love that you said God would not have put a dream on your heart that he did not already equip you to reach. You guys, God plants those things in your heart for a reason. And it's when we step out in faith and we have courage, which is the absence of fear. That's all courage is, to go out and do what it takes to reach those dreams. And I love that. I have to put that in front of my face. And then also too, I know the pivotal point for you when you said yes to this business was we have 18 summers with our kids. And you guys, I can attest to this. My two older ones are not at home. And man, oh man, I wish I could go back and have every single summer with them. But I am blessed to be able to do that with Tatum. So I don't know if Carleeta, if you have anything to add, but I just love that. I love that self-development as your warrior. Put your armor on and let that be your warrior when you get knocked back a little bit in this business or life happens. So it was great, Shay. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
All right, you guys. Well, I want to say, oh, go ahead, Carleeta. I see you.
Well, let me see. I put there, gallery view.
Oh, sorry, honey. I was just saying thank you. Thank you, girls. But Shay, thank you so much for just pouring into our team tonight. It was amazing, and I appreciate you just taking your time to give to us so unselfishly. And your story is beautiful, and every part of it is so true, and also inspiring and encouraging to just keep the path that you're on, and it will end up where you are wanting to go with this business. It's not supposed to be easy, but it certainly is something that will improve and enhance your life in a way that nothing else out there will. So, anything worth having is going to make work. So thank you. And I'm just so grateful to have this.
And you know what, Carleeta, it makes me think about your situation that you're in right now, 15 years into the business, and you have a brand new grandson, and there's nothing in your life that will hold you back from experiencing every sweet moment. Like, you guys, that's what we're working towards. We're working towards those things that we have to work hard towards now, because when we get to that point, we have nothing holding us back. Nothing can stop us and tell us no. Yeah. And that's the gift of this business.
And they're watching.
It blows my mind because every day there's something that makes me think, gosh, thank God for Arbonne. Whenever I'm in a moment where I want to be, and I even need to be fully present and a warrior for my family or somebody I care so deeply about, and I get to.
Yes.
Of Arbonne. I never, ever quit being more grateful every day. It's not that I ever get less grateful. I just become more and more grateful every day, because I know 15 years ago, I didn't know this day was coming, but God did.
Yeah, true. You guys, I'm going to leave you with this, and this is a little call to action for this week going into our final week. And Miss Heidi Nish just had a baby as well. She's going to be coming to us next week, and I'm going to actually interview Heidi. It's going to be really fun. If you have any questions that you would like me to ask Heidi, please send me a Facebook message, or you can send me an email. Facebook's probably the easiest. And it's gonna be super fun. And so I'm excited about that. And the last thing I want to tell you is, you guys, your self-development tools are everywhere. Learn and Burns, Ion Arbonne stories. If you haven't gone to success.arbonne.com, you could go there and be inspired beyond your wildest dreams. We have these calls. We have the different trainings that you see, SoundCloud and Go for Gold, and all of the things that we have. You guys, those are the things, and the reading and those types of things. You might be going, I'm not a person that likes to read. Well, get it on book and throw it in your car. That is literally a self-development tool on wheels, like you said. So my call to action for you this week is to get 3 or 4 things. Go on, YouTube and type in motivational videos, and you'll see all kinds of short stories and things that you can put into your notes on your phone. You can put it where you're having that thought. Maybe it's creeping in and you can't get a hold of your upline, or you're just feeling so maybe nervous or scared or frustrated or whatever, and the negative thoughts, or maybe you're just having a bad day. You know what? I love what Nikki said. Your worst day in Arbonne is your best day in corporate, right? So think about that. So at the end of the day, you guys, put these things in your notes section and equip you so that wherever you are, no matter when it hits, you have an armor, a warrior right in your hand that you can go, you know what? I'm not going there. I'm going to listen to this. I'm going to keep my eyes open, and I'm going to keep my eyes on the prize, because this is what my family needs, and this is what we need for our future. So you guys, that's your call to action this week. Put some of these things on your notes section of your phone and have them at the ready when you need them most. All right, you guys, we'll see you next week. Have an amazing, amazing week. Happy Wellness Wednesday, you guys, and we'll see you to finish out our month of vision. And Shay, you're amazing, and you look fabulous. And I appreciate you so much, and I'll see you Friday.
My daughter waking up 5 times last night, you guys. I forgot that part. I have an 8-month-old now.
Yes, you do. And she has every bit of you.
And I'm happy to wake up all night long.
Bye, you guys. Thanks for coming and joining us on Wednesday, you guys. See you next week. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for having me.
Bye, love. I'll see you.
Okay.